It's unlike any other in sport. As both teams made their way out of the tunnel, these folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Cleveland Browns. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Check, 154, 154. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
They run with a former Viking and Raider. It's Latavius Murray. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Alert, 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 alert.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing, Mayfield, flush to his right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Well, if you look at this Week 1 matchup on paper and you see the Titans' name next to the Browns' name, you're thinking, there can't be much history there. But if you factor in that the Titans used to be the Houston Oilers, well, there is good history there because these two franchises were division rivals in the old AFC Central. That was before the 2002 NFL realignment. So there is history, albeit way back in the rearview mirror.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll toss it out to Carson. He'll have another first down and more. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage.
This is caught inside the 15. Give them 32 on the play. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 13-yard line.
I'm trying to collect. Hey, can't. Check, 93's the mic, 93's the mic.
Throwing, Cousins. His pass caught at the 4. And he's brought down. 12 yards there and a first down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal.
And the big fella stuffed out.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Taking it in from a yard out. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. No success on first down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On second down now, it's Carson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Chris Carson with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And
I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. I score up in the end zone, do my dance all on a hater. A mover and a shaker, you a novice, I'm a player. I'm from DC, but I'm running through and sacking like a raider. 2 chains on my neck, one for now and one for later. And we don't play fair, baby, we play for keeps. You can pass me up, this is not a bye week. I'm looking for a trophy competition, looking steep. Yeah, I'm training, I've been focused, I've been bombing from the deep. I'm like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Move the needle for the city like the championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Hit to hit with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me. I am up, #1 seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted Honda or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Call an audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Modesto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Put numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet pointed guard.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. She wanted like me cause her like she can count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit up my ex. She like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more. Tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep it score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, one point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Rick Rock. Tick-tock. West hip-hop. Are you ready for some football? Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, 2-0, Madden. Snoop Dogg is, I get it. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, now get it. Big Snoop Dogg, it's in the game.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. Someone tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get the off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Los Angeles Chargers. Badge Benchley now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Mayfield on first down. And incomplete to open things up. The Pro Bowler. Beckham, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Play action now. Here's Mayfield going up top. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Come on, let's go! The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's Rivers. Eluding the pressure right. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. A good pickup there at 22.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Rivers. Escaping the pressure right. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Hey, Rocket.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. A nice opening right away as he'll maneuver his way up to the 32-yard line.
The tackle made by Terrence Mitchell. It's a gain of 10.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Red Delta!
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Rivers to throw it. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. Well, no doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
We got 4.
Following the interception, Mayfield. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. Hey, seam 6, seam 6.
58.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
58 is Mike. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Opposite.
58 is Mike.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 35.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
180.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
180.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming.
Regular.
52. Mike 52. You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Hey, alert 33.
They go play action. Mayfield. He's going to rifle one deep left into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. Then he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Charger drive about to get going. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they look pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skill players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
20.
Crunch down, defense.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of...
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field, and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 18.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up. Run 80. Check.
And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Entering settings screen, you have 18 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected. Entering settings screen, you have 18 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Alpha! Red! Check 99!
Throwing, Rivers. Throw to the right here to Gordon. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. The Browns drive about to get started. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, 58 is the mic. Run.
Here we go, G, get on.
Hey, orbit.
58's the mic. 58's the mic.
From the gun, Mayfield. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. The Browns send out their punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's King. Yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get to field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight. Maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Rivers. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off right around the 43. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
Hey, alert, 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 alert! Spud! 58's
Mayfield from the gun on third down. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Sit down! Check protein spill!
They'll run for it. Chubb. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A run for Nick Chubb. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Chargers' 30-yard line.
180!
Too little, cut.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Melvin Ingram able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Alert, 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 alert!
3rd and long for Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And still nothing on the scoreboard. It remains a scoreless tie. Thought that might be the goose egg breaker. Still stuck on 0.
Yeah, this is still a tight game, too. We got to keep that in mind because that miss there, you hang your head, you let it affect you the next time you go out there, then you really hurt your ball club. Get yourself together. You might get another opportunity, and they're going to count on you to put it through the post.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
To throw again on 2nd down, Rivers. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Going for the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They're indeed going for it. It's Rivers. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. A toss play to Chubb. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Throwing on second down, Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. And they can't bring him down. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Hey, alert 33. Let's make these babies cry. Watch out. Watch out.
They run. Chubb. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got him.
Mayfield down. And it is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guys at the cornerback position.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Chubb. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Temptation there certainly to go for this, but I think you have to kick it, right?
The temptation coming from the fantasy owners, right? I mean, there are some that are going to want to kick it because they may have that kicker, but overall, get more yardage, maybe a chance for a touchdown. But no, absolutely not. Run that field goal kicker out there. Kick it. You got to take the chance to take the lead right now. You don't want to put it back on your defense.
Well, it took a while to get something, anything, on the scoreboard, but we finally have our first points in the contest.
So the question now becomes, can they make this one stand up? And the way that these defenses have played, those 3 points almost look like 30, don't they?
Yeah, those 3 points look like a miracle right now.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, Alpha. Under 10, under 10, 10. Hey, ready.
To throw again, Rivers. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Delta! Hey, Delta!
Mike, 58, right there. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. 36, 36.
Check.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Man open left side. It's his running back with it. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rivers finding his top receiver, that's Allen. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. He's back to throw. Flushed out right. Looking for Allen, he's got him on the slant. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
I got you.
Hey, Delta!
He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Here's Rivers. Flush to his right. And Allen's got it. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mayfield to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Back to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Now Gordon on first down. And he's got Ryan.